Good morning, this is Jack for Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Friday, the 16th of May. My disclaimer, I did this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay, yesterday morning I was talking about the buy signal on RTY and YM. I was talking about seeing retest the high, and we saw those retest the high. Not on everything, but we definitely saw it on a yes, where we've now got a possible weak 60-minute sell signal brewing. I would note something I've mentioned on the notes for the charts this morning on the email, but I'll be mentioning to you again. That's not the only negative divergence we've got. That alone isn't much, but this is a high quality possible RSI 14 cell signal brewing on SPX, and we've also got one already fixed on the Qs, fixed late yesterday afternoon. So I'm thinking we may well be looking at some retracements here. I'm a bit surprised we haven't seen a larger retracement already, to be honest. The last one, we had the sell signals, but we basically traded sideways through those and then made the higher high. But I think I'm leaning somewhat to the short side now because yesterday's buy signals made target. We haven't quite retested the high on RTY, and I'm wondering whether it needs to. YM has retested the high, and I'm expecting to see that deliver on the. I'm expecting that to deliver on the RTH charts on that. That was the more important one, but I'd still quite like to see RTY, but I'm wondering whether it's going to happen. But we have got some decent hourly sell signals here. I'm wondering if we might see some downside today. But as I said, I'm a little surprised we haven't seen more already. Okay, so that is the main four. DAX is coming up into retest the high, probably needs to do that too. ASTX hasn't retested the main high. No current negative divergence. Let's see. All right, let's have a look at the Qs. SPX first. Okay, obviously we haven't got any divergence on the RSI 5. It wouldn't be hard to set some up, and we're looking very, very, very toppy on the daily RSI 5 here. But no negative divergence at the moment. Hourly chart, obviously we've got the negative divergence. 15-minute chart, we've still got the old RSI 14 sell signal, which never quite made target. We don't have a decent resistance trend line here. I'm skeptical about this overall move finishing until we do, as I usually am. I'm watching that, but we're likely going to need to go higher. The question is whether we do some retracement first, and I think the chances of seeing that aren't bad. On the daily chart, again, RSI 5 chart, this isn't unprecedented. Any strong move will get us up into the 90 area. What I would note is that apart from this high here, this one here is pretty close. This is one of the highest RSI 5 readings we've seen in 3 years. So doesn't mean we're about to turn or anything, but it is looking kind of stretched. On the hourly chart, this is an RSI 14 sell signal that has fixed. On the 15-minute chart, we lost the original 15-minute sell signal, so we don't have that anymore. Looking at Dia, Dia has been less stretched to the upside just because it's been going up less. So looking at the hourly chart, no negative divergence. 15-minute chart, no negative divergence either. Here, we actually got down to this short-term trend line here, and actually that's a significant break of it. I was wondering about a retest of the high and then maybe retrace in a little double top. So this is, that's where the trend line should be, and that is definitely a break. Wondering about a retest this high, which we should see this morning, and whether we might play out a little double top to the downside, which wouldn't be an awful lot, but is worth noting. All right, let's have a look at IWM. Okay, IWM, nothing on the 15-minute really. We're up in this resistance area up here at 209.27. Is this a possible IHS level? Yes, it is. And I am wondering about a right shoulder retracement here. Ideally, that right shoulder retracement would take us back into the 196.56 area. Am I expecting this to play out? No, I'm skeptical about it. I don't think we're going to see an awful lot of, I don't think we're going to see a big bull run from here. But just because you have an IHS form doesn't mean it plays out to target. I'm thinking that IHS might form anyway. So we will see. Nothing on the 15 minutes to speak of. We'll see. All right, looking at DAX. DAX is almost retesting the high again. We've got a possible weak 60-minute sell signal brewing, and Nikkei decent day. We're back below the 200 DMA, but I'm expecting to see a bit more upside. That may set up some nice negative divergence on the RSI 5. So we will see. How we don't have really any ability to set up any more negative divergence on the RSI 5 on the US indices until we see a day's decent downside that actually closes down. Until then, we're going to stick pretty near the highs unless we just start trading sideways and coming down that way. But it's going to be one way or the other. All right, DX. DX, we had a nice move up and we tested this resistance trend line here, which is a decent trend line on the daily chart. And it hasn't broken yet. We saw a bit of retracement there, sell signal, made target, and I am wondering about another retest of this trend line coming soon. On ZB, we're having a bit of a rally here, and I've got a decent looking falling wedge here. I'm thinking we might see some more rally, maybe get back to the weak pivot and slightly more 50 back before most likely this comes down again. So we shall see. CL, we've been seeing a bit of a back test here. We haven't converted the monthly pivot to resistance, which is good because I still quite like to reach this target. This trend line here would be the ideal target for it. This would set up a very nice looking bear flag megaphone on oil. So we'll see whether it gets there. I've got that resistance currently at about the 67 area. But I would note, George asked me to look at RBOB yesterday. This is already a really nice bear flag on RBOB. It's nice. And it may be that we're not going to see it head up further. So this was that was the main takeaway from this chart. I haven't done the daily chart yet, but that was striking when I looked at it. So we shall see. All right, great. Let's have a look at NG. NG, I was thinking we might see a bounce here, and we didn't see it. So no head and shoulders. There is an asymmetric double top, though. It's broken down, and really the obvious target is a retest of the low at 3. We've got a 60-minute buy signal fix so far that has delivered absolutely nothing. On GC, this is a likely overall bull flag forming, wondering whether it's going to need a test of this possible flag resistance in the 3100 area. On SI, we already have a nice flag. We do have an alternate channel support trend line down here, which could be reached, but we've already got a ring on this flag wedge. There's no particular reason to think that's going to break down. And I think, again, that is a flag. Palladium, we broke down from a double top, and we're looking as though we might be rejecting from it because we didn't quite make target and we rallied a lot. We'll see how that goes. Wouldn't be surprised me if that fails. Got a possible double top here on platinum, but at the moment that's not doing anything, and it looks like a bull flag forming. So I'm thinking that probably won't break down. HG, we've got a very nice looking falling wedge here. Now that's broken up. Looks like we're forming a flag. I'm leaning towards this going a bit higher. We will see. All right, on UUSD, looks like a bull flag. GBP/USD looks like a bull flag. Little top broke down here. At the moment, no interest in making that target. USD/JPY, we had an IHS that made target. Possible 60-minute buy signal brewing. USD CAD, nothing to say really. Australian dollar, NZ, nothing of much interest happening in any of those. KC, we've got a nice looking falling wedge here, and I've put in the support trend line because of course we hit the resistance trend line. So this is a decent looking falling wedge, and in all probability it is a bull flag. We could be forming an IHS as well. This could be a right shoulder forming or a double bottom forming to take this back up through the monthly pivot at 381.18 and towards a retest to this high. SB, possible IHS forming here, but it's low quality. I wouldn't be surprised to see this fail down, and I would note that we've got a possible head and shoulders forming here. Form a right shoulder here, we could find ourselves back at the low pretty quickly. Looking at CC, this is heading up towards, at the moment, this is heading up towards the the double bottom target in the 11,250 area. On wheat, still got a possible low area here, but I understand these there's a big surplus of corn and wheat, so that is suggesting that these won't be big lows, if that's true. So we shall see. On soy, possible topping action here, but not particularly convincing. Cotton is now down below the monthly pivot. If it stays below, this can go significantly lower, and we do have a 60-minute buy signal fixed. On lumber, keeping an open mind. Bit of a rally here, but I'm leaning down on the bigger picture. On live cattle, possible head and shoulders formed here. And lean hogs is likely heading back up into the recess of the high. That could be the second high of a double top, or we could just continue higher. Okay, let's have a look at questions. Okay, I think that's it. Apart from right, soybean oil, we got a 60-minute buy signal effect leaning towards seeing a bit of a rally there, and heating oil, we had an inverted head shoulders, and that's made target. Kind of looks like a little bull flag here, but nothing particularly convincing. We shall see. All right, in that case, that's a wrap. And I will catch you guys on Monday morning. Everyone have a great weekend.